Hi, I'm Denise. Thank you for watching my video. Today I'm going to talk about the sounds ch as in chair and j as in job. I will talk about how to make these sounds. I will tell you which letters make these sounds. I will give you some words to practice with me containing these sounds, containing the sounds in the beginning, the middle, and the end of the words. I will also give you some minimal pairs and ask you to practice those words with me. Those are words containing the same sounds other than the sounds that we're focusing on. I will give you a short quiz, and then I will give you some sentences to practice with me. So let's begin with how to make these sounds. The sound ch is the sound that we hear at the beginning of the word chair. It is a combination of the t sound and the sh sound. T is the sound that we hear at the beginning of the word to, and sh is the sound that we hear at the beginning of the word she. To make this sound, we put our tongue on the ridge behind our upper front teeth. So let's pretend that my hand is my tongue. This is the roof of my mouth. So the tongue goes up and touches the ridge. The front of the tongue goes up and touches the ridge behind my upper front teeth, and it closes there and blocks the air from coming out of the mouth. But to make the sh sound, we also have the front of the tongue near the top of the mouth, but it does not touch. So to move from t, which does touch, to sh, which does not touch, we just move the front of the mouth down, and then we release the air. We have to release the air quickly in kind of a burst of air. So we touch the roof of the mouth with t, we release with sh. Also with this word, with this sound sh, we round the lips and they protrude a bit when we make that sound sh. So when we combine these to make the ch sound, notice that at the beginning of this sound, I'm already starting to round my lips because I know that this sound is coming. Normally we do not round the lips for t, t, but up here we do because it's combined with the sh. So here, ch, ch. I've already started rounding my lips at the beginning of the sound. I put my tongue in position for the t. So my tongue is touching the ridge behind my teeth. T. Then I just release the tongue and force the air out. Okay? But my lips are rounded the whole time because they need to be rounded for sh. This is ch, ch, chair, chair. All of these sounds are voiceless. So the t and the sh are voiceless, and that makes this sound also voiceless. That means that we are not using our vocal cords when we make these sounds. With the j sound, this is the sound that we hear at the beginning of the word job. Job. The mouth and tongue position is the same as for ch. So, but this one is a combination of the sounds d and j. D is the sound we hear at the beginning of the word dog, and j is the sound that we hear at the end of the word beige. So we combine those two sounds to make j. This sound is made in a similar way to t. This is d, and for this sound we have to put our tongue on that ridge behind our upper teeth. So we touch, just like for t, we touch and we stop the air. Then to make this sound, we need to lower the front of the tongue and release the air. This sound also has rounded lips. This is zh, zh. So the combined sound has rounded lips. I already begin to round my lips before making the first part of the sound, although normally we do not round our lips for d. But because I need to round them for zh, I will round them for the whole sound. J, j. So I'm beginning with a little bit of a d. My tongue is touching the top of my mouth. I have stopped the air. Then I release the tongue and release the air to make zh, j, j, job. And these sounds are voiced. Now I'd like to talk about which letters make these sounds. The letters CH, TCH, and TU inside a word are the ones which most commonly make the ch sound. Here are some examples. We have the word chair, match, and nature. Notice here that the TU is in the middle of the word. It's not at the beginning or the end of a word. Okay? So these letters most often make the ch sound, but some other letters also make it. We can have the letters TI in a few words when TI is part of the string of letters STION, as in the word question and combustion. So question, we get the ch sound, and the TI is preceded by the S and followed by ON, just like here. Okay? So that happens in a few words. Also, the C in the word cello makes the ch sound. Please be aware, though, that these letters can make other sounds as well. For example, CH often makes the k sound, and it also makes the sh sound. Here are a few examples, so you know what I mean. CH makes k in the word character, and also in the word ache. And it makes sh in the word chef, and also in the word machine. But most of the time we get CH, TCH, and TU in the middle of the word. When we get these, we get ch. If you'd like information about when CH makes these other sounds, please see my other videos. The letters J, G, and D are the ones that most often give us the j sound. The letter J almost always gives the j sound. The letter G makes the j when it is followed by the letter E, by the letter I, or the letter Y. Of course, there are many exceptions, but often when we get these letter combinations, we get the j sound. The letter D, when followed by G, makes the j sound, and also the letter D followed by U when it's in the middle of a word or inside a word. Here are some examples here. The word job starts with the letter J, j. So J is almost always j. Here's the word Gene, begins with G-E, so it's G followed by the letter E. Here we have giant with the letter G followed by I. Here we have Jim, the letter G followed by Y. Here we have edge, which is D followed by G. And educate with the D followed by U in the middle of a word. Okay? Also, here's an example of when we have D-I making the j sound, is in the word cordial. All of these letters can make other sounds as well. So here are some exceptions I have written here. And I have not put the vowel sound that they make here, but The letter G, when followed by E, makes the G sound in many words. Here is an example in get. And it can also make the J sound, as in the word beige. Here I have the letter G followed by I, and it makes the G sound, as in the word give. Here I have the letter D followed by U, and D makes the D sound, as in the word conduct. So, yes, we get the J sound when we have all of these letter combinations, but as I said, these letters can also make other sounds. If you're interested in any of the other sounds that these letters make, please take a look at my other videos. Now let's practice saying some words with these sounds. Here are some words containing the ch sound. The words in this column have ch at the beginning of the word. The words in this column have ch in the middle of the word. And the words in this column have ch at the end of the word. Please repeat these words after me. This is chair, change, cheap, check, chicken, child, choice, choose, kitchen, teacher, culture, lecture, nature, picture, statue, virtual, lunch, much, reach, search, spinach, such, teach, watch. Okay? How did you do with those words? I hope you did very well. Okay, notice that in this column, all of the ch sounds were made with the letters CH. Also, in this column, all of the ch sounds were made with CH, except down here we actually had TCH, okay? So I guess I should have underlined that as well. In the middle column, though, we have CH and also the letters TU. Notice that in these 4 words, the last 4 letters are T-U-R-E, chur. We have many words like this where the end of the word is T-U-R-E and the T-U makes the ch sound. So these again are culture, lecture, nature, picture. Okay? And let's see what else. Would you like to practice a few phrases or sentences? Let's try that, okay? I don't know. I bought some cheap chicken at the store. Can you repeat that? I bought some cheap chicken at the store. Okay. The kitchen chair was comfortable. The kitchen chair was comfortable. The teacher lectured about culture. The teacher lectured about culture. Okay? I have a pretty picture of nature in my room. I have a pretty picture of nature in my room. Okay, we ate spinach for lunch. We ate spinach for for lunch? How much TV are you going to watch? How much TV are you going to watch? And that's enough for now. These words all contain the j sound. In this column, j occurs at the beginning of the word. In this column, j occurs in the middle of the word. And in this column, j occurs at the end of the word. I will be pronouncing this word as a noun. The N is for noun because it also has another pronunciation. And this word I will be pronouncing as a verb. Okay? Please repeat these words after me. Ginger, generous, gentle, jacket, job, join, juice, just, danger, engine, enjoy, project, education, graduate, procedure, schedule, age, page, change, bridge, college, language, manage, message. Okay? Did you do all right with those? Okay, great. A few comments. In this word, the CH in American English is pronounced K. So this is sk, schedule. In British English, it has a different pronunciation. It's more like sh, schedule. But we pronounce it K, schedule. Also, this word I had in my last list of words also for the ch sound at the beginning. But this time I've put it here for the j sound at the end of the word. Okay? Also, each of these words ends in the letter E, but we do not pronounce the letter E. Okay? So the last sound in each of these words is j. All right? Okay. Also, these words, although some of the letters are different, all have the same pronunciation, okay? Generally the same. The vowel, for some people, might change just a little bit, but for the most part, most people would pronounce these exactly the same. So this is bridge. It ends in idge. This is college. Although the letter is E, it also ends in idge. College, language, manage, message, idge. Okay? Bridge, college, language, manage, message. All right. Please repeat a few short sentences after me, okay? Let me see. I just bought a jacket. I just bought a jacket. Will you join me for some juice? Will you join me for some juice? The engine is dangerous. The engine is dangerous. I kind of changed that word, didn't I? Okay. I enjoyed working on the project. I enjoyed working on the project. Okay, let's see. The web page changed yesterday. The web page changed yesterday. What language do they speak at your college? What language do they speak at your college? And that's all. Now it's time to practice some minimal pairs, which are words that differ only in the sounds we're focusing on. Here are some words which sound the same, except for the sound at the beginning of the word. Each of the words in this column starts with the ch sound, and each of the words in this column start with the j sound. These two words have the same pronunciation, so I've put them together. This is the letter G, which I've written like this to make it plural, and this is a girl's name. Okay? Please repeat each of these words after me, and be sure to distinguish the beginning sound. Okay? Please try to make sure that the beginning sound is different. All right? These are ch and these are j. Please repeat after me. Choke, joke, choke, joke, cheap, jeep, cheap, jeep, cheer, jeer, cheer, jeer, cheese, jeez, cheese, jeez, chill, Jill, chill, Jill. Okay? How was that? Now I'd like to practice words with the sh sound and the ch sound. Some people confuse these sounds. Notice the sh part is the same, but this does not have the stop t at the beginning. So that means for this sound, the tongue is not touching the roof of the mouth. It only touches for the t in this one, okay? This is sh, and this is ch. And this one, sh. The air is not blocked, it is not stopped, okay? All right, please repeat these words after me. Shop, chop. Shop, chop, sheet, cheat, sheet, cheat, shin, chin, shin, chin, ship, chip, ship, chip, shore, chore, shore, chore. All right? Now it's time for a short quiz. In this quiz, I will be reading some short sentences, and I would like you to try to decide which of the two words in a pair that I say. Okay? The first word in each pair begins with the ch sound, and the second word in each pair begins with the j sound. So please listen and decide which word I say, okay? Here we go. He joked in the meeting. He joked in the meeting. Did you hear it? It was joked. Okay? Did you hear a cheep? Did you hear a cheep? Did you get it? It was cheap. Okay. The crowd cheered at the game. The crowd cheered at the game. Cheered. I like to write cheese. I like to write cheese. Okay? Cheese. Jill is in the room. Jill is in the room. And that was Jill. Okay? Let's go on to the next part of the quiz. In this part of the quiz, the first word of the pair begins with sh, and the second word in the pair begins with ch. Please listen and decide which of the two words that I say. Okay? They shopped all day. They shopped all day. Which one was it? It was shopped. Okay? There's a cheat in the classroom. There's a cheat in the classroom. Yikes. It's not very good, is it? Okay. He bumped his shin. He bumped his shin. Which one? It was shin. I see a ship in a bottle. I see a ship in a bottle. Which one? Ship. Okay? The chore is huge. The chore is huge. And that was chore. Finally, I'd like to give you some sentences to practice with me. Here are some sentences with words containing the ch and j sounds. The sentences at the top have words with the ch or voiceless sound, and the sentences on the bottom have words with the j or voiced sound. Please practice saying these sentences with me. First, I will read the sentence slowly, and then I'll read it at a little bit more natural pace, okay? Please repeat these sentences after me. The child chose to change chairs. The child chose to change chairs. The researcher gave a speech about watching nature. The researcher gave a speech about watching nature. The children ate chicken, peaches, and spinach in the kitchen. The children ate chicken, peaches, and spinach in the kitchen. The manager scheduled a meeting to change the budget. The manager scheduled a meeting to change the budget. The bungee jumper plunged off the bridge. The bungee jumper plunged off the bridge. Jean graduated from college after receiving a good education. Jean graduated from college after receiving a good education. Okay? That is the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you learned something. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you want more information about other sounds or other letters, please look at my other videos. I have lots of videos available for you to look at, and I'd love to have you watch them. Also, if you want to be notified when I make new videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.